We woke up at about 2:30
Ooh, that's when it was early.
last night. Because today was
2:30.
Big Island Day.
Yeah, the one we booked on Tuesday.
Yeah, we took an Uber from the hotel to the airport because otherwise we would have had to leave the hotel at like 1:30 to work with the bus schedule, and I couldn't handle that. We took the Uber. Uber ride was fine. We got to the airport so early that it wasn't open.
We had to wait.
Pro tip, this airport doesn't open until like 4:15.
Well,
It says it opens at 4, but it
it
doesn't.
says 4 on the thing, and 4:15 we're like, okay, because that's exactly an hour and a half before, and that's what it says on the Hawaiian website. That guy didn't open the door until 4:25-ish.
And the thing was, we weren't checking any luggage, so we just walked in, printed our boarding passes, and went through security, which
And asked if we wanted to print the next flights. It's like, your
Yeah.
next flight's in 24 hours. You want to book?
is in less than 24 hours.
And we're like, sure, that'd save us a step. And it really helped when we got
Yeah, that
at
was
the end
awesome.
of the day.
So we got onto the flight. We were just dead tired. We're still dead tired. That's been a
That
continuing.
flight to the island felt longer than the return one for some reason.
Well, the trade winds. Gotta say, Hawaiian Airlines, the most fat-friendly airlines I have ever flown.
That was like,
Yeah, there was so much room in between my tummy and the belt. And the chairs are like bus chairs.
except for, so the little backing thing too was nice because we're small. for
The tray table's like, meh, it's so small.
But I mean, it's not a very long flight. It's not
Yeah.
like they're giving you a meal.
And they
it's
give
just
you
whole
like
drink.
a foil-covered plastic cup with your drink in it. We slept through the drink service on the way there, but oh my god, it was so beautiful out the window because it was sunrise over the ocean, and for the part that I was awake for, beautiful.
So you probably sort of clip of it.
Yeah.
If you really wanted to.
When we landed, we caught the little shuttle over to Enterprise, and we had reserved a Chevy Malibu, the top of the line, because it was what was available.
Cheapest.
Yeah, it
It's like
was
57.
76 with tax. It was 57 without. So when we got there, they were all out of Chevy Malibus, and I jokingly said, well, I mean, we'll take a Mustang if we can.
Well, they had a smaller one. They had like a Kia.
It was like an itsy-bitsy car.
And they're like, well, you ordered a full size. We're
No,
like,
they were super nice about it.
I know, but the idea was, I think for her, she thought, oh, you guys ordered a full size. You know, why would we give you something smaller?
I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
think she
so-
really cared. And once I
It
jokingly...
really did not seem like she was terribly concerned.
Yeah.
And
Once
she-
I jokingly said, can we grab a Mustang? And she was like, yeah, pick which one you want. Sure.
Who got the white Mustang?
And we immediately put the top down because you're legally required to as soon as you rent a Mustang. And we started off on our road. We downloaded pretty early on the Gypsy app.
Oh,
Which-
man.
Really made
I
the trip,
would
honestly.
say 10 out of 10 on the Gypsy app. It was the best $15?
12.
$12. And I've never... We're not into tour guides. We really aren't. Like, well,
I think
tour
it's we
guides are
don't
cool,
like
but tours...
Tours with others.
And with the tour guides who've done it a million times. But this is like a recording. It's a Canadian comedian who does a voiceover, and he's so likable.
And the thing
he
is
feels like
that
a friend.
the GPS tracks where you're at, so they tell you relevant facts to where you're at, turn by turn. And it really made it enjoyable. Learned a lot of history, learned some interesting facts.
I love how, like, because it's well timed too. Because if you're doing the speed limit, it's like, you should be coming up on the blah 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 sign, and as soon as he says it, it pops out of the trees, and you're like, wow.
Yeah, the timing is incredible.
I think it was once where we bypassed a turnoff, and we just ran into the next one.
Yeah, but
But-
that was on us. That wasn't on him. But really, the Gypsy app made that so much more enjoyable.
Yeah. And
So
we
we-
got that off a recommendation from the Yellowstone board.
Yeah, so thank you, our Yellowstone. So,
Yes.
it was like a 2.5 hour drive over two volcanoes.
We went over, so we took it's called the Saddle Road, over to
We learned that from the Gypsy app.
Hilo,
Hila.
and then we cut down to the volcanoes from the north. And we could have gone down to the south, but the thing is, there's a secret site Haley wanted to see that didn't open till 8:30, and we were there at 7. We were in the car at 7 o'clock, and so we're like, we don't want to wait an hour and a half. The other thing's only 30 minutes
We had a
away.
limited amount of time
And so we're like, well, why don't we just eat up all this extra hour and a half time on
driving over to volcanoes.
Yeah, the 2.5. I think that worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
We it's funny in the guide. They're like, if it's sunny in this part, consider yourself lucky. And we're like, oh, it's lucky. And then literally we crest the hill and it's like not sunny. We're like, oh,
Downpour.
And he's talking about how, like, most of the time it'll be raining at this part. And it was raining at that part. It was like so relevant.
It was like, how does he do that?
Yeah.
So we got into Volcanoes Park. We started off by going to the visitor center. Waited forever to get into the gift shop.
Yeah, they're only letting 8
It's
people
a
in.
little gift shop too.
Yeah, that's why it's only 8 people.
Yeah. But, I mean, we got our magnet, we got our pin, we got what we needed to get. We went to the bathroom, and we talked to the rangers about what to do in a limited amount of time. So we went down the main road all the way to the end, because that's what they recommended you to do. So we did the Kilauea Overlook, which was lovely, very windy.
They don't call it Kilauea Overlook. They call it the name of the crater,
I
which is
know.
different than Kilauea Crater.
Oof.
I'm not into that one. Anyways, and you do the overlook, and it's impressive. You got the steam coming off the side of the
There's
hills.
also a museum over there that we did not...
It's closed.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, there was a sign that said it was closed to COVID.
No, there were people going over to it.
Where? Because when you went
Jagger
off-
Museum.
when you went over to the other lookout for the steam vents,
Yeah.
the arrow that pointed to the other museum for the little trail from that part said it was closed.
Oh.
It might be it might have forgotten to take it off that sign if it was open.
So we did the overlook, and then we went over to the next overlook by the steam vents, which was lovely.
And it started
And it
pouring
poured.
rain. It's not pouring rain. The thing was, it was misting.
It was hard misting though. Like
A rain
our
was coming
jacket
in
was
like
soaked.
35 miles an hour of mist. It was just like a wall of water.
So there were more things to see over there, but we had such a limited amount of time. We booked it back and went down the Craters Road, where we stopped at the Mediocre Overlook. Then we stopped at a bunch of different little pullouts, and we ended at the Ocean Arch, which was just breathtaking.
Sea arch.
Sea Arch.
Yeah.
That
It's
drive.
a bit of a hike.
Oh my
Bring
God.
water. Okay, so if you're going to do this whole thing, bring water.
And sunscreen. I didn't bring sunscreen in now. I had to spend $5 on aloe at an ABC store, which is a
But-
rip.
Yeah.
But
So
the
water,
that
definitely.
arch was just.
It's a long drive. And there's not, it's.
There are no services.
So
in
you're from
terms
the
of,
top, it's
food.
like cold and wet, and you get to the bottom, it's hot and dry, and just beat down on you, sun.
But it is one of the most beautiful things I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Just seeing all of the pillowy lava fields, and then going into the water, and the water's just attacking the sides.
Yeah, it's just
10 out of 10.
it's
just
like
gorgeous.
25, 30-foot cliffs, and as you're coming down, the water's crashing over the top of the cliff. It's crazy. How
And they're sheer,
brutal
like,
it is.
straight down cliffs, so the water just smacks it.
Yeah, it's so
Oh my
brutal.
God. It was incredible, though.
Very violent.
So he drove all of that way, and then I started driving after the arches, and then it was another 2 hours over to. Oh, I'm gonna butcher this name.
It's the sacred site. It's like the site of refuge or something. Refuge of.
It's the temple. It's one of the most sacred temples in all of Hawaii. Pu'u Honua o Honaunau. Yes, we will call it that.
It was basically a site of refuge, and
It was one of the holy
Refuge.
temples where the kings of kings were buried. They built a temple there, and if you did something kapu against taboo,
broke kapu.
yeah, same thing.
Basically, if you went against the law and you ate with a woman or something like that,
You had to swim into this cove or take a canoe into this cove. This
Had to escape
super sacred
because
cove.
the
Otherwise,
penalty was death,
up to death.
up to death.
Yes.
And so,
But if you
could've-
made it into this cove, you were safe.
You
And
know,
the
the-
priests would forgive you.
yeah, they would absolve you of your transgressions.
Yeah. So that, we spent
The
Couple
cove
hours
was
there.
gorgeous, absolutely. When you think of tropical beach, this was the perfect tropical beach. Coconut, like palm trees.
It was like
and
walking
this-
through a screensaver. It was one of the most beautiful areas. There
when we
were
first
yellow
got-
tangs everywhere in the water that you could just see.
Yeah,
You couldn't snorkel there though because it's sacred ground.
There was when we first got there, but we knew it was closing at 4:30, so we got there at like 3:15,
Yeah.
and the gift shop closed at 3:30.
And
So we so slid under that
Yeah.
because by the time we got out of the car, got cameras and everything, it was 3:25.
and we got in line for the gift shop because they were only allowing 4 people in at a
It was a
time.
very tiny. And she just waved us all through.
Yeah.
She was like, whatever.
Keep in mind that the 2 of us made 5, so she was understanding that.
And it was outside. The gift shop's outside in open air.
So we got our magnet and we got our pin,
Got a
as always.
stamp, but that wasn't in the gift
Yeah,
shop.
another national park stamp. Yeah, and we walked through there. Lovely, lovely recreations. Well done. There were a bunch of people doing no things, like trying to snorkel and get into the water.
Yeah, or waiting in the back, and it was just like,
This
guys,
is a sacred site. This
guys,
isn't
there's
like...
literally a beach right there that's called 2 steps because there's 2 steps to get in the water. And it's gorgeous, and it's so much. You can go over there, but now they were just doing their own thing.
But I didn't go all Ranger Haley on them, mainly because I'm literally death warmed over right now.
And she knew the spirits would get them in the end.
Yeah. And after that, we drove back. We got
Haley's
some
a
McDonald's.
Firm believer in the Brady Bunch theory.
No, that's not the Brady Bunch theory. That's
It's
reality.
featured in Brady Bunch.
No. If people disrespect someone's holy site,
Yeah, it's
that's
bad.
bad karma on them.
Yeah.
I don't.
Don't even go there.
Yeah. Plus, by that time, everyone at the visitor center was closed. So I couldn't really go and talk to anyone.
There was one ranger who was bumming around until 4:30.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, she was staying up there, and she helped the other lady close,
Oh,
and then there was the
I missed all of this.
interpretive lady who was doing the cabo.
none of those people were there when I was waiting for you to get out of the bathroom.
No, those were gone by the time we got up there. But
Yeah.
no, well, she must have told off because when I was in the bathroom, 2 guys were in there, and they said that they got yelled at for waiting in the water.
He thought it was me.
And I thought it was Haley. I was like, good job, Haley. It must have been the ranger because there was a female ranger who was patrolling.
Well, that's good.
Or
So-
it was the lady who was doing the paper or the cloth down.
So we drove back. We got McDonald's on the way because we didn't have time to stop anywhere. We were cutting it kind of close. I got a taro pie, which was really good. Yeah,
Yes.
I love taro. Taro and ube. Those are my 2 new, and Lihing. But McDonald's doesn't have anything Lihing.
The pork for me.
McDonald's doesn't have pork
I
either.
know, it's so good.
Anyway, so we drove back to the airport, checked in the rental car. They didn't care about the half tank thing. And we flew back. Pretty uneventful flight.
Flight back, caught trade winds. It was a straight on in.
Yeah.
Fast.
We landed and we took the city bus back instead of doing an Uber because I preferred to pay $5 instead of another $28.
Well, the plane got there like 20 minutes or 25 minutes early. So we
We were able to catch the earlier bus,
we
thank
were able
God.
to catch the bus. Because otherwise we would have had to wait another 35 minutes. And we're like,
Considering we've been up since 2:30 and it is now 10:18. 2:30 a.m. to 10:18 p.m. I don't know how we're surviving right now. So, overall, Volcanoes National Park and the National Monument. Was that worth the $169 per person plus $77 car rental?
I wish we got another day there. But yeah,
It was worth it for me.
it was definitely a heck of an adventure. The whole flying somewhere while on vacation
Yeah,
and doing it
that's
for
so
just one
trippy.
day. I've never flown into somewhere and flown out the same day. That is incredibly crazy.
Yeah.
Not traveling with checked luggage. It was a whole new experience for us, and it was awesome.
It was awesome. I am death warmed over, but I had a blast today. Thank you for forcing me.
Everything was so smooth too. Get
Yeah.
off the airplane, go straight to the rental place. Have to come back, go straight back in. It was a nice small airport, so everything was smooth. We ran into a little bit of congestion checking in because everyone was checking in to the last flight of the day at the same time.
Yeah, I probably, if I would do it again, I would do the second to last flight of the day, just to avoid that congestion.
Because it was only 30 minutes earlier,
Yeah.
and they're both at the gate at the same time. So.
But, I mean, we got to do a lot more, and that gave us an extra hour. Alright, well, we're gonna eat a snack, go to sleep, and sleep in a little bit tomorrow.
We're gonna take showers too.
Oh, God, I forgot about that, but we need to. Alright, until next time.